And we're live.
And we actually are live. You say that a lot during our Hot 10 lists, and we're normally not live. No, we actually are live now. You are seeing us live.
This is crazy. So what we're going to do here, we're going to be doing a little bit of a conversation, let people trickle in. We didn't trickle in. We haven't told anyone that we're going to be going live today. We haven't told anyone that we're going to be going live to do the top 10 today.
This is an interesting one. We're actually trying something different this Friday, and we're going to see how it works. You know, we're just going to do the Hot 10 live. We're working with some new video editing software. We're trying a new setup on live, and just thought this might be kind of fun to try and do this on a sunny Friday here in Lake Stevens, Washington.
We had a couple times over this last year that we've been working with. It's almost been a year. I mean, it's like 8-9 months now.
Yeah, almost a year.
Almost a year that we've been doing the CBSI Hot List, and I realized like this has been our Friday every week for almost a year. Like every single week. You've been in every video.
Yep.
Even the one where we didn't get your feed, you typed in
when you were
list.
sick in New York, yes, I had to like voice to text and tell you what I wanted. So I've been a part out of that. And even in Japan, we ended up phoning in. Emerald City, we ended up doing it from a hotel room. So yeah, we're just trying something different, trying to make sure that as we go into convention season this year, Tom and I are already planning on going to New York Comic Con and San Diego. I know Rose City is going to happen. There's a couple other West Coast cons that you and I have talked about going to. And I think the main plan is that even if we're traveling, we'll still be able to bring you the Hot 10 list from CBSI comicbookinvest.com every single Friday, even if we have to do it from somewhere else with different circumstances.
Yeah, this is just an example of, a time where we want to test this out, because there's going to be a time where we have to do it live, and we can't let you go without the top 10 list.
Absolutely not.
So we're going to be doing the top 10 here in just a couple minutes. We got it all planned for you. It's a great list. I'm super stoked. This was definitely one of the, I like to call them a little easier list, because I recognize a lot of the books. I've already been seeing over this last week. I'm like, yeah, this book popped. I saw that last week. I saw this over here. I saw this over here. And I'm like, all right, I already kind of have the script throughout the week being made.
Well, and that's a good thing. And I do like the fact that the list has a bunch of surprises on it, but they still feel like familiar surprises. And that's the one thing, surprises. There's not as much of the, I get these same books that are on this list every single week. There's actually a couple things that I'm looking at going, yeah, I like that. It's very different.
I also like looking at the list and seeing that there's things that are, you can find in the more affordable side.
Absolutely.
That's always good.
The community there's going to be a couple shockers on this list, yes.
But there's also some shockers that I'm sure people are going to be excited about, because I know they've been adding it to their pull list, especially if they've been watching us over this last few weeks. I mean, there's some surprises, but we have some first time things happening here. First time repeat offenders. I believe this is the first time we've had a book here make the list 4 weeks in a row.
It may be. I think 3 might have been because I know we had in the past, there were books like Umbrella Academy made the list 3 straight weeks, but it was 3 different books.
That's
it was
right.
just something still Umbrella Academy. We haven't had something like this hit the list so many times in a row that's the exact same book.
Yeah, and we're not talking about Immortal Hulk. Actually,
that is
he's
shocking.
Not even on this
list. He's not on the list. And that was,
my goodness.
I know.
Okay, so thank you to everybody who's currently joining us. We are getting ready. We're going to be performing the top 10. We're going to be doing it live, so bear with us. This is a little bit new, but we're rolling with it. We're doing what we got to do. Packing the house last minute at 3:30 p.m. on the Pacific Northwest. Close to 100 people joining us, Russ. And yeah, super excited to bring some CBSI Comic Book Invest goodness to the community here.
That is fantastically cool. Shout out to Perry Comics High in Orlando. Enjoy that con. My God, I went to school in Orlando. I was actually living in Winter Park for a little while, and this is about 15, 20 years ago. And there were parts of Orlando I liked, and there were parts I didn't. And mostly I didn't like the outside, and I liked the air-conditioned inside. So that was kind of my, I'm a Seattle boy. I'm going to melt in that heat. It just not was, but being a resident in Florida, being able to get a year-long pass at Orlando at the Universal Studios Orlando.
I remember when we first did those, one of our earlier videos were like you ranking different rides, because you've been all over the place.
Oh, yeah. I love roller coasters, but being able to go on so many of them at Universal Studios in Orlando, Florida was fantastic.
Like a specialist now.
Oh, it's good.
Florida's great. I have family in Florida, in Fort Lauderdale and in Orlando. I'm just not about the rapid change in temperature. Like outside it's so warm, and then you go into somewhere with AC and it's like you're hit with so much cold that you actually get cold. And it kind of feels like that. You ever get like the night sweats, or like you're camping and you sweat but it's super cold, and then you get the survival man hypothermia that he always warns you about. You got to stay dry. You got to stay dry. You can't sweat, you know? You got to shout out Les Stroud, whoever watches the real Survivor Man. Okay. I think it's about that time. All right. So we're going to start here. We're going to provide you with the CBSI Hot Comics list for the first time live today. Comic book community, thank you so much for joining us. I'm your host, Comic Tom 101.
I am Russ Bright from Mill Geek Comics in Mill Creek, Washington. Again, we are very proud to bring you this list, brought to us again by CBSI comicbookinvest.com. Those fine folks over there get you a Hot 10 list every week, and Tom and I personify it. We put a pulse to it, put a little bit of spin and glitter onto it to bring it to you fresh every Friday.
You want to hit that subscribe button if you're new to the channel, because we pump out this video every single week. CBSI puts out this list every single Friday. Sometimes there's 4 Fridays in the month. Sometimes there's 5. Ain't going to bring them down. They're going to be doing it every Friday.
Every Friday.
And they're going to kick us the list a little early so that we can create this video so that it's available to you on the weekend every Friday.
Very, very cool.
All right. So Russ, let's jump into the list here. Do you know where I'm going to be going with this one, Russ? Do you think we should start at number 10?
I think number 10 is a fantastic place to start, Tom.
Okay. So let's start this list off at number 10 because we have a gorgeous Artgerm variant.
Yes, this is a really interesting one because it is a variant. Now, you may have seen this variant cover before. Now, Life of Captain Marvel #1. There was an Artgerm variant for that, and this happened, I don't know, 6-7 months ago, and it was a very beautiful cover. It was not the main cover. Well, now we have Captain Marvel Volume 11, #1. This is a Walmart variant.
That's
and
right.
if you notice the main difference between the Artgerm variant on this one and the Artgerm variant on the last one,
let's take a look here. You got her hair. It's way shorter.
She has longer hair now. So if you go to Walmart, you can see Captain Marvel rocking that femule, that extra long hair.
It actually looks great too. I really enjoy this cover. You can definitely tell it's Artgerm. This guy has been killing it over this last year. This guy, I have a renewed interest in Catwoman now. Because of him.
Oh, definitely.
And his variants have been selling strong. This one was a surprise. Walmart again. I never would have thought us starting this whole thing that we would be talking about Target and Walmart as much as we are.
So every single person that hit me up in the last week over at Instagram got the full wrath of my Walmart complaint. And you know that. You know that I don't think it's fair that not every Walmart has them. Only a small amount of these Walmarts do have them. And one of you fine folks out there, Matt McLean, who is actually one of my patrons over at my Patreon, link in the bio down below if you don't have an LCS, he ended up sending me a copy of this that we're going to about to Comic Book Fam. So make sure you comment in the actual video down below for an opportunity to win this long-haired Captain Marvel variant.
Oh, I like that. We're going to do the giveaway early. So a reminder, because we're doing this live, if you're in the chat, you need to comment on the actual video because that's how we do the drawing. And yeah, we're going to be giving away one of these Walmart variants. But this one's actually seen some gains. It's interesting because these come in a 3-pack. It's a pack that you can get at Walmart. Single copies are going for $10. If it's sealed in the pack, we're seeing those hit $20.
Yep, and I have a 3-pack that is going to be given away. So you will get 3 copies. It's a still sealed 3-pack that has been donated by Matt McLean again.
Okay, I'm interested to know, post the person winning next week, and after they get it, if they're someone who's interested in breaking it open or keeping it sealed. And I want to also give a quick little reminder to the community, remind everyone that this Stanley Artgerm Lau variant is coming out next month.
That one does look beautiful. And I know Artgerm is going to be wrapping it up on these variants. He's not going to do a whole ton of them. So this is one of the final ones, and it is definitely a fantastic throwback to, it's Poison Ivy, right?
It's Poison Ivy, right?
It is. Yeah. That's Poison Ivy, kind of an homage to the Batman 181 first appearance of Poison Ivy on the cover. Because you got them turning the page. Isn't that great?
Yep, it's turning the page. You actually can see the 181 there.
I love that.
It's fantastic. The color work is great. This actually, I believe this is in June.
A few months away. Yeah, I think they may have just solicited it
But this one, it's been solicited, and I am so excited about this. I had to, as soon as I saw Archer making the Instagram feeds this week, I'm like, I got to remind everyone that this is coming.
Right.
Be prepared. Hit your LCS and make sure it's on your pull list, because look at this gorgeous cover. I can't even stand it. It's amazing.
Oh, it's fantastic. I did want to give a quick shout out to Grace. Again, thank you so much. Thank you for your dad, Roger. And yes, make sure you guys are geeking responsibly.
All right. So we're going to move on to the list here. We have at number 9, Sir Kate's making the list. Oh, Thanos. What? Issue number 15.
Thanos 15. This is one of those that we weren't expecting, but I was hearing some buzz about this because this is the first appearance of Black Surfer.
Yeah. We chatted, Fire Guy Ryan and I chatted with Sir Kate's at Emerald City Comic Con. He's wearing his Maximum Carnage shirt.
Fantastic video. Great of you guys to do that.
I had so much fun at that con, and a lot of fun with Sir Kate's, and he was letting us know that the next event to be ready for has to do with like what he wears, and he's wearing all this Carnage stuff, and it was a really cool experience because he hadn't gone onto Twitter to drop the news that Carnage is going to be this next big event, this big symbiote event. So right now we have Thanos issue number 15. This is the first appearance of the Black Silver Surfer.
No. Thanos 15, 4th print, because it's just a cover appearance.
Okay.
Understand that if you get 15, it's not you have to get this cover appearance to be able to get this character.
No, he's at the end of that issue.
Is he?
He is the last page. This is the last page spread of Thanos issue number 15.
Interesting. Okay.
Now what's really cool about this book, this right here, I'm glad it made the list here, because I looked at this book on the list, and I had to think here, because this came out in 2018 in January. This was last year. And this was the book that I saw it, I stared at it, and I thought, I think this was my favorite book I've read in the last year. We're in April now.
Right.
This came out over a year ago, and I remember reading this book for the first time. And I immediately, it's one of those comics that I had to reread the pages more than once as I was going through it.
Right.
It didn't make sense. So I don't want to hype this book up too much, but this is definitely one of my favorite comic books that's come out in the last year plus. And we have a Thanos that has Hulk as a pet, feeding Captain America to him in this. We have the reveal of Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Right.
All right, it's so, like, when that happens, you're so hooked on this run that you can't even wait to the next issue. And then at the end of this issue, you find out why old man Thanos went to get his younger self to bring him back from the past.
Right.
Because there's one person that has eluded him that he thinks may have been the main cause of preventing his romance to blossom with death. And it's this character we're looking at right here, the Surfer. And you get this beautiful shot at the end. This book going for what's this going for?
It was a $10 book. There's now a ton of sales in the $25 to $30 range. So, and it just is continuing to go up. And we've been gushing about Sir Kate's for over a year now. We've been talking about it. And I know that he had God Country that he was working on, and Baby Teeth that he was working on, and Redneck that he was working on. But Thanos is really the thing that has kind of put him on the map. And that is a massive, massive one that we've just been watching.
Fantastic.
God, I love that cover. That is the cover
this
that I like.
This is the first print. You got the first print right here with Pet Hulk, Cosmic Ghost Rider.
Feeling like a Hulk on a leash.
Is that corn?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Take a look at this second print. I always appreciate this one's actually pretty affordable. It's like $10 to $15, but I always appreciate it because you find out the reveal of who Cosmic Ghost Rider is, and what better cover than to have him right there.
Yeah,
if you're
it's
a Cosmic
very,
Ghost
very
Rider
appropriate.
Fan. This right here, you have the third print variant. It is fantastic. All right, Russ. I know there are a number of people in the community who were specking on this book, and even if it didn't land quite as high as I think some were hoping, I think they're going to be okay that it's in their collection. Do you want to take over this next one?
So, Sabrina, we love her. We've got a whole bunch of new Sabrina stuff happening. Season 2 just ended up hitting on Netflix. But this is Sabrina the Teenage Witch #1, the Adam Hughes Virgin variant. And this was available from, I don't know whether it was his website or whether it was but it was a variant comic that was available for $20. It sold out almost immediately.
1 in 500.
It was not very available. Now, you can still get the Adam Hughes cover with the trade dress that says Sabrina the Teenage Witch on it. That is still available for about cover price. But this peaked at $200, and now it's settled in the $110 to $125 range. Still fantastically fantastically priced for such a gorgeous piece of Adam Hughes art. And we get to see Adam Hughes all the time. He's currently doing the variant on the Superman books.
That's right.
And it's good. There is kind of like a level of, I expect it to be this good because it's Adam Hughes. This kind of goes the extra mile. This is definitely one of those that you look at and you see Sabrina, and it's kind of a fresh take on an old character that we've been talking about recently. And Adam Hughes just does a fantastic job with this book. It's such a beautiful one. So if you have one, you are lucky. If you don't have one, it's still out there. Pick them up.
I mean, in a $50 loss to ensure you get a 1 in 500, I mean, it's okay. That loss you may be feeling it right now, but just wait a little bit. I think there's a lot of potential gains on the Sabrina run. It's just a one-off character that just keeps getting brought up when we hit this table.
I have a strong feeling we're going to see many, many more of these slabbed and signature seried over the next couple months. You know?
Take a look at this 1 in 750. It's not as wanted, just because that color version is gorgeous. I mean, she is outside flying on her broom, but this 1 in 750 is also attainable, and it's a bit cheaper than that other variant that we discussed.
Still a cool one.
Very cool. All right, let's move on to the list here. Let's talk about number 7 here. This comic book, Silencer, issue number 15. This is a dark metal tie-in, and we have a new character here that I don't think anyone was keeping an eye out for. We have the first appearance of Smoke in comics. And what's there to be said about this? Because I don't think a lot of people were putting this on the pull list.
Honestly, almost nothing. And that's not to like deride what the dark metal offshoots were or the Smoke as a character, but I have one person getting this book. I had one person contact me about it. It's going for $10 to $15 right now. A lot of it is because it's a very, very low print run on this book. This only came out a couple weeks ago, but a lot of these new metal tie-in books have just been canceled or ended. Curse of Brimstone is ending. Damage is ending. A lot of these other ones that just aren't around. It's interesting that Silencer even made it to 15 because a lot of the other ones ended at 12 or know that we're finishing up these arcs. So the fact that they just introduced a new character, there are other DC series ending too. Apparently Titans is ending, and Scooby Apocalypse just ended with a fantastic Mirka Andolfo cover.
That's right.
But there's a bunch of other stuff that DC is kind of wrapping up, some of these things that were new for Rebirth, and this one spawned out of metal. I don't know how much longer it's going to be going, but first appearance of Smoke, if you can find Silencer 15, this is definitely going to be one of those sleeper books that you will find at shops that no one knows what it is.
And this is definitely one of those ones that if you're catching this video weeks after the fact, it still may be on shelves.
Right.
You know, it's one of those ones that's like you're going to miss it unless you know. Thanks for watching the show. Yep. All right, let's take a look at this number 6 here because we have some Valiant goodness making the list. We have Solar Man of the Atom issue number 3. Renewed interest in a character that makes his debut here.
Well, so Solar Man of the Atom number 3. This is the first appearance of Toyo Harada. And this last week, we have a new Valiant 6-issue miniseries, which is Life and Death of Toyo Harada. And he is one of the main baddies in the Harbinger universe, in the Valiant universe. Now, Solar Man of the Atom number 3, we're seeing 9.8s. They recently were going in the $150 to $175 range. They're now going in the $250 to $300 range. But even raw ones are tough to find for under $30 on eBay. Most of them are even buy it now at $50. So Toyo Harada is a major, major character. No spoilers, but there's a lot of stuff that's coming on. They're probably going to be tying some of it into the new Bloodshot movie that is coming out. Keep in mind that Solar Man of the Atom number 3 is a pre-Unity Valiant title. And those of you who aren't really familiar, Unity was kind of like the major catalyst in the universe. They were blowing things up, and Unity is about when all of the print runs in Valiant started getting really stupid. So the low print runs in the early version pre-Unity stuff was in the like 10,000 to 20,000 range. By the time you were hitting all of these Unity things, that's where you get this Turok Dinosaur Hunter number 1, shout out Turok. Yeah, Magnus Robot Fighter 25, Ryan the Future Force 9, these books that were produced literally in the millions, and that's why Valiant kind of exploded at the end of the industry there. That's why you're going to
see pre-Unity in descriptions, because this typically when you see Valiant in this time frame, that for a collector, a seasoned key collector, a comic book enthusiast, that's quarter bin, dollar bin, dollar bin, quarter bin,
but
quarter bin.
know that pre-Unity that's the expensive stuff. That's the stuff that's a lower print run. Yep.
Right. So we got pre-Unity making the list. We got Solar Man of the Atom. There's a lot of diehards for this particular run. And this is a character that has a very rich history.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
All right. So this is that time of the video where we take a break and we give some shout outs to members of the community who went out and just killed it on the hunt, who are going, members who are going to their comic book shops, Russ, visiting their LCS, finding a renewed interest in comics and sharing it with their friends and family. Let's talk about some of these members. Take a look at this. We have B83_comics. He must have seen our recent True First video on Immortal Hulk.
I'm shocked that he didn't pick up that first prototype Hulk or that Gunslinger Hulk, because that would have been really cool. But Immortal Hulk appearances, cameo, second cameo, third cameo, 45th cameo, 7,387th cameo. Yes, there's a lot of cameos, but it's nice to see people going out and hunting all of that Immortal Hulk goodness.
Absolutely. Then we have, IS. He can't stay off the list either. Look at all of these Akira comic books. This one right here, we just had someone recently walk into the shop going, hey, I watched your hot list and look what I just pulled out of my most recent collection find.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that someone walked into my store who may have watched us on this video and may have grabbed my Akira #1 out of the back issue bin. So good on you, because I thought I had one and it's not there anymore. So hopefully someone did pay me at least the $15 I had marked on it. But yes, I guess this is even his lower grade set because he had 2 sets of them. But very, very cool stuff. Nice to see that Akira going and getting some love. Some of the love it deserves.
2 different sets, and I like the colors, the color choices on those comics, by the way. Very cool. All right, and then we have Zach Buys Comics, who's showing off a bunch of recent keys that have been around for a long time. Yep. We have Spider-Man Deadpool number 47, which is hilarious. I have to imagine Rob Liefeld is thinking, damn, I probably shouldn't have said anything because there are more people buying this damn Spider-Man Deadpool issue 47 after I said that stuff, after I blocked Nick. Mm-hmm. Then I think otherwise.
But it's really interesting because you can't find copies of Major X #1 or apparently #2 because they're both sold out. So
why don't we talk about that? Because that's kind of been a little bit of a ruckus in the community. We got a little time. We're live. Let's just
that's right. We are actually live.
I mean, this is something that came up this week. Rob Liefeld tweeted that he can't believe, he didn't even know it's going to happen, that a comic book that has that sold so many, it's not out yet, pre-release, it's sold so many that it's already gone to second print. So he said, I can't believe that it's sold out.
Right.
But that's, okay, these are terms here that I feel like if you're new to the collector's market, it may be a little confusing. Let's break it down. Mm-hmm. When a comic book is said to be sold out, but it hasn't even hit shelves yet, technically it is sold out, but it may not be sold out in the way that the consumers may be thinking when they're hitting eBay to go buy it. Can you maybe explain?
Yeah, and this is the thing that you and I were reading about this and reading the comments on this thing, and Rob Liefeld was like, yes, this is sold out. It's not even out yet. Well,
and shout out to I Got Issues as well. He hit a really, really nice thread on Instagram about this.
Definitely. But Major X #2 comes out next Wednesday. So the 17th of April is when it comes out. I can't order more copies of #2. I can only order second prints of #2. Well, sold out is very different because if I buy 25 copies to put them on my wall, I have bought 25 copies. Marvel's allotment of 25 copies is given to me. But if I only sell 10 off my wall, it's not that it's actually sold out. It's that I purchased them from Marvel.
Marvel's sold out.
Yeah, Marvel is sold out. Rob Liefeld is excited about the fact that Marvel no longer has first print copies that they are allotting to customers.
You had to probably order that at least 3 months ago?
That's the thing. Probably 2.5 months ago, I think, is when I turned that order in. But the really frustrating thing is if Marvel is sold out of first prints at the distributor level, if Diamond messes up my box, if something, which happens all the time. When Diamond shows up and a box has been dropped on the corner, there's something that's wrong or there's a rip or a tear. And I'm like, hey, I ordered 25 copies. I didn't get 10 of them. 12 of them came ripped or damaged. Diamond doesn't have enough stock to send to me. Ooh, okay. And since second print is a different SKU, they can't send me second print replacements. So I basically am SOL on first print things that I can't get, which is why we end up seeing a lot of these secondary market spikes on things the first day, because if something hits and it's a first appearance and it's a different cover and it's something that someone really, really likes, well, Diamond is sold out within an hour of everyone getting their comics on Tuesday. So by Wednesday, we already know that there is no more coming in the chain. We
sold out.
Right.
All right, sold out. So that's what that means. And if you start to see comics in the future be listed as sold out on the internet, well, you remember this moment. He just explained it to you.
Yeah.
That's how it works in the comic book community. Oh, and shout out. We mentioned Zach Buys Comics, but he's got this Master of Kung Fu right there. It looks so gorgeous, and he's got the 196. Great cover of one of my favorite villains. And then he got all this Naomi. Lining it up and kind of foreshadowing a little bit to come here.
Naomi 4 is coming out really, really soon, and if you're not on it, you should start getting on it.
Do you mean
Something's going to
like-
explode in the universe.
Do you mean like this person here?
Oh my God, yeah. We've got Jack of All Comics who ended up picking up all the Naomi.
Oh, yeah, Jack of All Comics. I did that.
Yes, and apparently Jack of All Comics went to a store, and all the Naomi happened to be on the store. So that shop owner must not be watching us.
Oh,
that's okay.
If you're a comic shop owner, let us know in the comment section. I want to know I want to know if you own a comic book store. I want to know where it is in the comment section below.
Right.
We'll do some shout outs maybe next week.
Fantastic.
All right, cool. So let's take a look. We got to jump back into the list, Russ, because we are. Oh my goodness, we got some awesome books that have made the list because of more optioned news.
Definitely. Well, the next one we have is Young Avengers presents number 6, and this is number 5 on the list. We are at the halfway point.
Okay, so Young Avengers number 6, we have oh my gosh, I almost called her Cassie Lang. Oh my goodness, no. We are talking about Kate Bishop, who is taken on the role as Hawkeye in this issue. This book has seen spikes because of recent Marvel Plus news, Variety reporting that there is more shows coming to Marvel Plus. They repeated their hype about Scarlet Witch and Vision getting a potential show.
Right.
They're saying that that's being produced. They're also saying that the What If series, which they're putting as much money into that cartoon that they're going to be doing as some of these major pictures, like motion pictures, like they're going to be putting a ton of money into this animation. So we're going to be seeing some news there pretty soon. And then the last one is we are bringing Hawkeye to Marvel Plus, and it's going to be about him training his protege.
And that is very, very cool. And some of the things that you've mentioned, Marvel at least has their finger on a very quiet pulse. And some of the few things that I get requests for all the time, I always have people asking for a new Gambit series. I always have people asking for a new Carnage series. Well, Carnage stuff is happening. I always have people asking for a new What If series, and I have people asking for Hawkeye. And those are the 4 major things that I just have people who are diehard Marvel fanatics, people who have been listening and reading and watching Marvel for 20 plus years. Hey, why don't we have a new Hawkeye? Hey, why don't we have this? And I know they really liked the Fraction run of Hawkeye a few years ago, but this is very cool because we know that Barton's going to be going and doing some Ronin type stuff, especially with the movie, and it's very cool to see Kate Bishop as a protege.
I find it interesting, though, that there's been so much hype about Ronin, and if we know that Hawkeye is going to be taking on the show, maybe Ronin as a character will be short-lived. Maybe this hype around that particular character may not be the one that we want to be betting on if you are speculating. But here we go. Young Avengers. We have this issue that was going to 20, hiked up to $30, and then now pushing over 40 in just a couple days. Wow. All right. Let's take a look at this next issue here because we have one that it made its rounds online, and there's one reason. Shout out to Nick over at Key Collector who spotted this. I even put it on. It's even here on the list here that Key Collector app stated that this mini series would be important in the Absolute Carnage event.
Right.
Where did that come from, though? Well, in the letters pages of the most recent Cult of Carnage issue, this is why you got to really read every page of your comic books, because in the letters there's stuff there too.
The second to last page of this comic book, and again, if you were reading the new Cult of Carnage comic book that came out again 2 days ago, the last final page, the letters section, there's this kind of cryptic few paragraphs that, they're like, oh, well, Donny Cates has this plan and there might be something happening to go with Carnage
I'll
USA.
read it right here.
There
it
we
says,
go.
After seeing how, okay, so this is at the very last page here. After seeing how things have turned out for Carnage USA, just may give a hint at what's to come for the Marvel Universe in the next few months. I'm writing, of course, about Absolute Carnage, the just announced event by Donny Cates. The story has been in the works for months, since before Carnage Born and even Venom. All right, so this is something that's coming, and with this little hint, Carnage USA literally making it in print. Key Collector saw it and pointed everyone towards it.
Right.
So now I think it's a really good spec. Now the prices on this book have gone up quite a bit, and I think it's simply because we've been waiting to hear anything about this run, any speculation from this run, any character people are waiting on, and all we know is that Cates has said he wants to use potentially every single symbiote that has made Marvel history.
Well,
so
as I just mentioned, Carnage is another one of those that people are always asking about, along with Hawkeye and Gambit. But it was a $5 to $10 book, and really, truthfully, it's not going to be something people wouldn't care so much about Carnage. The reason why it was $5 to $10 was that it was a character that people wanted, not necessarily a miniseries or a story that had anything to do with anything. Well, now it does.
That's right.
And that is why you need to pay attention, because this book is currently going in the $20 to $30 range, whereas even in the last week, again, we're talking last 48 hours is when this all spiked.
$5
Totally.
$5 book. And I mean, it's Clayton Crane, so this whole run has got some of the gorgeous covers too. But low key, sleeper key. Okay, let's take a look over here, because I want your opinion on this next one, Russ. I gotta know. Last week we were talking about this book here. All right, Amber Blake. This is the variant, the 1 in 10.
Yeah, the No Day variant.
We came here, showed this variant off. 1 in 10. It's going for $40.
Yeah, it was crazy.
$40 for this variant. And from what we knew, that this was it's a hot book. It's a good story. It's new, but it's a banger right now because this is a little bit of an oversized issue. It kind of is bringing people back to the Batman Damned months that we experienced last year. Maybe people getting a little excited about it. This book's going for $100 now, Russ.
Yeah.
Is this warranted? What are your thoughts on this? $100 at number 3.
$100, that's ridiculous. And
it's ridiculous.
In terms that I would tell to my 6-year-old, that's 20 Happy Meals. I mean, you have to take into consideration that $100 is going to buy a lot of food.
Oh my God. Okay. I have to know. Is that the...
That's the unit of measurement for a 6-year-old?
How
many Happy Meals? It's going to be...
Be careful with this comic. That's 1 Happy Meal.
Right. Absolutely. You're right. You have to be careful because this is 15 Happy Meals. You're going to have to give up 15 Happy Meals if I buy you this toy. Right? So Amber Blake is currently on the 20 Happy Meal range, right? It's ridiculous, but it's a beautiful cover.
It's
a great story. It's cool
looking.
I don't think $100 is, I don't know. I don't think this is going to hold. I know that the market is out there. I know that there's people willing to buy it. And if it does get optioned, possibly print run super low on this. We know the print run is super low on this. I have talked to over 5 less than 10 shop owners about this book. No one ordered more than 5 copies of it.
Really?
The people I talked to who I know own shops,
not on their radar.
Didn't even think about it.
I think this is one that at the if we're gonna give it some reason to speculate, I'm gonna go the same route that I did with Batman Damned. I don't know if you remember, but the day that this happened, the very first thing I said was grade. This book is going to be all about grade. That book's still going for what, $50 to $70, right around there in high grade. But the ones that are causing the big spike are the ones that are grading for 9.9
9.9s and 9.10s
and 10s. You know, these oversized books. It's a mess. It's a mess. How many people have reached out to you about which bag and board even goes on these damn things?
Right, because not a lot of people just have magazine bags and boards hanging around.
Right. So finding this pristine is going to be tough at the very start because it's not even available. But when you do find it, it takes one little thing to go wrong and you're not going to have the high grade. So I think that's going to be the point of focus for this book.
Well, and I don't know if I said it to you specifically or whether I actually said it on camera, but when they sent us our 1 copy of Amber Blake, it was not put in the normal box like normal everything else.
You never mentioned this, no.
Yeah, okay. So this was actually... normally when Diamond ships, they give you the regular box and you have all of your comics and they're tightly packed in one box. And then you generally get one extra box that kind of has all of your leaflets, periodicals, posters, little mini catalogs, tchotchkes. I mean, if they've got buttons. So you have this extras box. So I've got comics and then extras box. Went through the extras box and there was some bookmarks and there was something. And I'm like, okay, crap. And you normally put it on the side because you're like, I'll put that on the free table later. Not worried about it. John put it on the side. He checked everything and goes, we didn't get Emerald Blake. That's weird. The next day he goes through to throw away that box, finds the Amber Blake in that box. So it wasn't even in the normal place where we would have the comics. It was put with our random posters on the
knickknacks being knocked around, causing scrapes on the covers and stuff. All right, well, here we go. That's what I'm talking about. I'm glad. See,
the people at Diamond didn't even care. The people at Diamond weren't even putting this in a comic box and taking care with it. It got thrown in with the knickknacks, with the Hellboy Day buttons, with the whatever.
With the points on them and everything.
Isn't that crazy?
Okay. Before we gotta leave this tangent. This is what happens when we go live. I love it. No, this is actually really good info because that info wouldn't have come out had we just been talking about this freely. But I mean, those boxes that they're sending you are the same ones that they shipped comics in.
No, the regular issue has not gone up. I just saw that in the channels. But yes, no, the regular issue is still available in the $4 to $5 range on eBay and at stores everywhere. It is just the 1 in 10 variant.
Oh yeah, thanks for clarifying. Yes. It's just this one that is spiking to 100. Don't go crazy just yet. Okay. Let me finish my thought with that.
Sorry.
I said that you're talking about the comics being packaged into a box by Diamond. Those boxes are the same boxes that they pack comics in like
30 years ago
when comic books were worth literally half of the cover price of what they're coming out now,
Even that. No, I mean, you're talking about back in the day when comics were 60 and 75% cover, and now
lower.
they're $4 and $5
So like
covers.
Literally, if you were to like look at the box and look at the contents of the product just by MSRP, the value of what's inside has gone up dramatically, but they ship it in the same way they did before.
I lose a box and I lose $1,000. That's 100 Happy Meals, guys. I mean, that's crazy.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Before we hear more about Happy Meals, we got to go on to number 2 on the list. No surprise with this one. We showed this on the top 10 way back when it made the previews. But take a look at this right here.
I know.
Jen, come on.
So
come on. The color work. Every time.
The Marvel Tales Jen Bartel Virgin variants, we kind of knew because we had already seen the Black Widow make this. And this is 6 months ago that the Black Widow made it. And that was going for a dumb amount of money. This one was pre-selling in the $100 to $120 range. We're now seeing the Virgin 1 in 50 variant of this book at $150.
This is the Avengers Endgame comic. Like this right here is this is perfectly timed. It came out today. We got the movie in a couple weeks. There isn't going to be a better Avengers or Thanos themed cover than this one right here.
Right. And I there's a lot of cool, good Thanos stuff coming out. There's another Thanos miniseries that's starting with Gamora as the main character in, I think, actually next month. There's a 1 in 100, a 1 in 50, a 1 in 25. Some gorgeous variants there. This one has a couple things going against it, but Bartel and the art on this cover is going to keep it very, very strong. The things that I personally think are going against it is that the Virgin variant is exactly the same as the trade dress variant. It's it just says Marvel Tales on it. So it's not like they did something different or changed it or gave him a mask or made his hair longer or anything like that. It was just truthfully that this is a very cool cover that you don't get to see it. Still $150. The other thing is that it's a $7.99 comic for the regular one. So you're paying $8 for Thanos reprints.
That's right.
None of these are new comics. So you're going to have fewer shops that bought 50 copies of this because if you have someone who's already a diehard Thanos fan, they already own everything Thanos. They don't want a whole bunch of reprints. Or if they are, they're only going to buy 1 or 2 of this regular one to be able to get the expensive one. So there's a couple things going against it, but Jen Bartel is fantastic. Her art is fantastic. I love the colors, and Thanos is just looking great on this one. So I think this will have some staying power.
Her color palette is definitely signature.
It's amazing.
I can tell. You can take Thanos out, and I go, oh, look at those colors. I know that's Jen Bartel. Like, absolutely.
Right. That's exactly what she does. They're very, very stark and pastel at the same time. And it's a rainbow in every picture.
Oh, my goodness. It really is. Okay.
It's literally a rainbow in every picture.
Okay. So this is, I think this is the first time this has happened. We've had a series that's made this list the way that it has over this last couple months. This has been the sleeper series that I think has had less hype than Immortal Hulk, but has been coming up strong just the same.
This is Fire Guy Ryan's "I told you so" moment.
It absolutely is. When Fire Guy Ryan came into on Wednesday, and we're looking at all these comic books, and you got like, let's just go through it before we show the screen, before we actually say what it is. We got what's going on at DC. We have a murder mystery happening over at Doomsday, and we're having like mysteries being unraveled with the New 52. This and then this epic event. We got Superman dealing with Leviathans over Action Comics. Like we have Brian Michael Bendis taking on a bunch of stuff after his, what was it, 17, 16 years at Marvel, comes over here, over to DC and starts writing all these different stories. It takes on a lot.
He has the whole Jinx World universe that is happening, and that's kind of wrapping up, and there's a few of those series that are over, and now he's working on the Wonder Comics world.
And then he's working on this.
Right. Well, this is part of Wonder Comics, and we have the Wonder Twins are in that, and we have the young people. I don't even remember what the. Sorry. Hey, we're live. But there's a bunch of Wonder Comics things that are coming in, and Naomi is kind of the crux focal point of that.
Coming in at number 1, we have Naomi making the list again. When we started reporting on this issue, this was an honorable mention. It was
a $10 honorable mention 3 months ago? 2 months ago?
No, it was a little over a month ago.
Okay, so it may have been honorable mention in January.
A month and a half.
No.
Last month.
Yeah.
Last month, honorable mention. This is that new.
That's so fast.
This happened so quick. So, if you watch our show, you already know everything that we have to say about this comic. I'm not going to repeat it.
Right.
This is fantastic. There's a lot of stuff to be said about it.
There's a variant.
It's hot. This book has, when it hit honorable mentions, I gave a shout out to CBSI because this was all of a sudden, hey, this was it's starting to creep up, but no one knew this character, and it was just issue 1.
Because she's a brand new character.
I mean, right? Over there at CBSI, they just said, hey, this looks like a great book. We got to put on the honorable mention because it's starting to cause a spike in this community,
right?
Between the small number that it reached initially,
right?
And then we saw it creep up, and then it creep up, and then it creeped up again. $10 at the start.
Right.
This book now, $50 to $60 for number 1, a first print by Brian Michael Bendis for a new character. It's fantastic because this book has got so much potential. Now, what I want to bring the focus to is that we are seeing we have a few more issues here that are coming, and people are speccing hard on these next few issues because the theory is that we're going to find out who Naomi is as a superhero, her place is. Rather, she will find her place in the DCU. And likely we will see things like maybe a costume appearance, maybe she'll take on a role of a superhero. We're going to see some change in this character over the next few issues. And that could be key appearances that the community is already speculating on.
I cannot tell you how many people in the last 2 weeks have added Naomi 4 and 5 to their pull lists. And I'm requesting as many copies as possible. So I know that in the next month, we're going to have issues that are going to be massive. Also, DC has just released notification that they are doing final prints on Naomi 1, 2, and 3. I had never really seen them do final prints before. I know they'll do second print, third print, fourth print. This is the last time DC is planning on printing outside of a trade paperback or a graphic novel format. The last time they are going to be printing Naomi 1, Naomi 2, Naomi 3, and they're also doing final prints on some Doomsday Clocks 1, 2, and 3, just to shut down the printing press on those, which I think is a little bit interesting. But if you are looking to get on the Naomi train, in about 6 weeks, we're going to see final prints on 1, 2, and 3. So if you haven't got a copy and you don't want to spend $40 on a first print, you will be able to read it in the final print copy. I hope they change the art and don't just do a color thing, but I haven't seen what the covers are. So
I also wanted to throw out there, I don't know if this has any, I reread Naomi recently because every time a book hits the hot list, I have to spend a bunch of time looking through it.
Right.
I want to crack them open if I can. I want to go on YouTube. I want to go to, read comics online, I want to buy them, whatever I have to learn it as quick as I can in this short time we have. And when I reread Naomi, I noticed something that I didn't realize the first time through, is that there are moments when Naomi is because it's very mystery focused. She's trying to figure out the past of this town and how it relates to her past. And how she fits into this universe.
Right.
And there are scenes where she's trying to uncover stuff and you get these public shots. There's all these people, it's great artwork, huge spreads of all these people in this town because it's all about this event that happened in this town. And every page that she is like trying to uncover something, you can find one person in every single one that's giving Naomi a look. One person, like everybody's going about their day, and then there'll be a panel, there'll be one person on the side, and they're looking. They're like, and it's planned.
Okay.
So like now I'm thinking like, what does the town know?
Right.
Are they brainwashed somehow? Like what is going on? So I'm sitting here going, oh, I gotta get this on my freaking poll list. I don't know what's going on. And I'm going, this is why it's happening.
Right.
This is why it's spiking. So anyway, shout out to Fire Guy who called this, to CBSI who called this. $60, man. That happened so quick.
Yep.
Okay. That concludes our list, but it's not done yet because we do have a giveaway.
Yay!
From last week. So there was a comment last week that kind of stuck with me. I was like, this is a easy thing that we can show people. So
Sure.
I was asked in the comments like, hey, I mentioned, hey, the winner of this last giveaway is one of our friends because we've been doing this show now for a year and we have a lot of friends in the community.
Oh, absolutely.
Shout out
Everyone
to the
tags us on Instagram.
240 plus people on this random live show.
Right? The afternoon on a Friday. Yes.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you so much for joining us today. And the question was, because I mentioned, hey, our friend won a giveaway. Well, because we see so many of our friends here in the chat so often. That
It's crazy. I recognize more than half of these names.
Absolutely.
At least 10 of them are patrons. It's super cool.
So he's like, oh, is it just your friends getting the giveaway? How do you do the giveaway? And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Oh shit, what are we saying? We're not just picking our friends.
We used to show this on camera. Like there were definitely a lot of
sometimes
that
we do.
But a lot of times because of the edit and because of what's happening in post, it's a little difficult to actually bring the other computer in to be able to show it happen on camera to be able to throw on the final edit. But
we're
since we're live, we can do it. We're already on the computer.
So this is what we do. This is how you know you got to comment on our videos because if you like and comment, this is what happens. You go to this website and you put in the link to the video. You don't do this. We do this. We get the total YouTube comments for that video, and it actually takes out all the duplicates. It takes out all the spam.
Right.
And then we have a total of, oh my gosh, that's a record. 867 comments.
Unique comments.
Well,
this is what happens when you give away Immortal Hulk 16, the 1 in 25 variant. It was number 2 on the list last week. It's still over $100, and I'm giving one away for free to whoever the random
Shall we find out
generator
right
is.
now?
I want to see who it is.
All right, let's do it. All right, so I'm going to do this right. We're going to scroll down here. We have it all right. Start the raffle. All right. Let's we got helicopters.
I know.
Uh-oh. Let's do it.
Yep.
They're after us, Russ.
Hide your daughters.
All right. The winner.
Da, 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 da.
All right.
Joker 19.
Joker 19 says, I want that Immortal Hulk variant. I would just buy 2 and have them side to side because why not? Guess
well, you know what? I have really good news for you. I've already folded it flat and ironed it for you. So you can just display. I'm so joking. I'm so joking. No, pristine Nearman. This one actually didn't get messed up from Diamond, and I actually did get a copy, and you are going to be getting it. Make sure you contact me at bagsandboardsgiveaway@gmail.com. Remind me your name, remind me your screen name, get me a mailing address, and we will get that mailed out to you as quickly as possible.
All the information is in the description below. Shout out to comicbookinvest.com, CBSI. Those guys are awesome. Jack over there hooking us up with such great information. Hook up the community with such good information every single week. I always like to put their Instagram tags below as well because they're putting out, including Ben, and I'll make sure that Topher gets in down there as well. I didn't realize he had an Instagram until late, but we'll make sure he gets in on the True First videos going forward.
Good.
But you should be following them on Instagram as well because they're putting out micro content all throughout the week that you don't want to miss. If you like their top 10, you're going to love all the other stuff they're doing.
Right.
And Russ, you mentioned your Patreon.
Yep.
You mentioned it already. Let's just give them a reminder. There's a link below. And if you sign up for your the Patreon, you could be their comic book guy.
I could absolutely be your comic book guy. If you're not close to an LCS or you want a different LCS, different local comic store, feel free to sign up for my Patreon. We are able to get you a pull shelf at the list. It's $10 a month, and that covers all of your shipping and 10% off any of the comics that you buy. Plus, all of your comics come bagged at boarded and no extra charge. Another interesting thing that Tom and I haven't done a video about or really talked about is that Milgeek Comics is part of the Previews Pullbox beta program. This is
so cool.
There's not very many shops around the country that are able to do this right now, but you are able to get a special passcode from me, pick me as your shop, and then you can go from the comfort of your home on your computer to be able to go through, hit subscribe, hit like, Tell me what comics you want directly from your phone, and I get to approve it at home. It makes my ordering easier. It makes your ordering easier. You can pick how many copies of how many covers, and it comes to me immediately.
Guys, this is the next wave of how it's going to be to order comics. If you never want to miss a comic again, go to the Patreon link below, sign up for Russ's Patreon. He's going to get you the app, and it's literally, I went through it. I'm picking out my list, and dude, I'm like, right now, this is my process.
Right.
I get tagged by 30 people when a Mignola cover comes out, and I go, I need this cover. My process is I can't tag you anymore.
Nope.
There's too many tags in the community. It gets missed. And with the recent update, you can't even see the damn picture.
I know, right?
Fix that, Instagram.
Yeah.
But what I do is I screenshot and I have to text you.
Right.
Hey, can you add this to my pull list? You must get so many people just doing that. And now, no more.
Right.
You have your app. If there's a comic book that you like, you hear about a book that's coming out, you like that Batgirl cover that's come out in June, you want to add that, boom. Mill Geek is one of the only shops that you have access to this app with. You click a button, you add it, and it's done. And Russ, if that book spikes, what do? You take it out of their box and you put it on eBay or something?
I still have 3 box customers in my shop that still have a copy of Spider-Man Deadpool number 47 sitting in their box that they haven't picked up their comics in a while. So if their box is dead, that may go in the general population. But if they pick up their box in the next month, yeah, it's cover price. And that's what I do. You're not going to get screwed. I'm not going to pull it out of your box.
Boom.
You know, I wanted to be an honest shop.
I love it.
You know?
I love it.
It's good.
All right. Last plug, because it's live.
And yes, anywhere in the continental United States as well as Canada. You can sign up anywhere. I ship anywhere. I have 3 people in Hawaii I ship to. I have 2 people in New York. I have 5 people in Florida. I've got a couple in Jersey. I have a couple in Texas, all over the United States. And yes, I have one in Canada, and I am working out a special shipping option for him as well. Because yes, I want to make sure that if you are not close to a local comic shop, or if your local comic shop does shady business and doesn't give you a good comic karma feeling, check us out. We're going to do our best to make sure that we get you every comic that you need at the best price we can.
But make sure your LCS, you give them a shot first.
Oh yeah, give your LCS a shot first.
More than one.
Right.
2, 3 shots. You know, support your local LCS. They're very important. And last bit of information, the mystery mail call. It is 3 more days to sign up, and that's including today, to sign up to reserve your box for April. It's the Shazam month. Boxes are going out all throughout the month. People are already getting them. If you want to reserve your box, you got 3 days left. I don't know what you're doing if you haven't. Join the community. It's popping. We got so much good stuff. And Russ, did we or did we not buy 200 long boxes yesterday?
I know. I don't think Tom reshared it, but I have almost 300 likes on the 200 long boxes that we picked up last night at about 10 o'clock. So we've got a lot of new comics coming in.
All right, Comic Fan, we're still going through them. We've only gone through, what, 15, 20 of the damn boxes?
Right. I think we might have hit 30 at the absolute most.
We're literally buying all of these for you guys.
Right.
This is literally what we're doing. Like, you've given us this job to supply you with comic books every month. This is how we're going to do it. We're going to go crazy and buy as many comics as we can, and we're going to hunt for the ones for you because we know what you want, and we're going to get them to you. I'm hoping there's some Immortal Hulk in there, man. Let's cross our fingers.
It'd be really great to have some of those. I'd actually really like, because when I was digging through last night, I did find 1 copy of the first appearance of Rescue, and I found a couple copies of the first appearance of the new Red She-Hulk. So there is fantastic stuff in there. We have to keep digging for more and more. It's patreon.com/MillGeek Comics if you're looking for it. I know Tom will put the link when we get this video released.
All the links are bound below.
All the links will happen, but yes, it's at patreon.com. You can search MillGeek Comics if you want to find me.
And Mystery Mail Call, geekstreet101.com, links in the bio. Shout out to Andy Tomberlin, who says, don't forget to check out the Indie Spotlight series. Absolutely. We definitely support any content creator who's going out of their way for any independent creators. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
Shout out to Discovery Bay Comics. He says, hey chat, let's show Comic Tom and Sensei Russ our appreciation, hitting that like button. Discovery Bay Comics do a lot of community work. We do appreciate you there. Thank you for the super chat. Shout out to Cody Evans for the $2 super chat. For real, we wouldn't be able to do this without the community. This whole thing, this video today happened because of the community. We had, some technical difficulties, and because of super chats and because of the community, we were able to provide this content and get it to you way before I think we would have been able to this time last year.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. Much better.
All right. I think that's it. Make sure to hit the comment section to comment to enter to win that Archum Walmart variant sealed in the pack.
Yep.
Subscribe if you're new to the channel. And as always, Comic Fam,
Geek responsibly. Oh, yeah, and don't forget to watch our True First video that's going to be on Monday, right? Yeah, that one. Or Tuesday. Whenever.
I don't know, man. I don't know when I can get anything done. I'm still working on this video. I don't even know.
Oh, yeah.
Enough.